Good day, everyone. Welcome to Direct Stars. Our subject for today is physics, while the topic is particle model of matter. While the subtopic is pressure and volume, PV equals to constants. Aim of today's lesson is for you to understand the relationship between pressure and volume in a gas. Objective of the lesson is how the pressure of a gas sealed container is affected by the change of temperature of the gas and what Boyle's law is. Let's move to the content. Gas and pressure. What do we mean by gas, pressure, and volume itself? Pressure can be defined as the force exerted on a certain area. That is force over area. So, we have pressure to be P equals to F over A. So when a force is exerted on a certain area, we call it pressure. While volume? Volume can be defined as the space in which the gas is. That is length times breadth times height. Volume of the gas. Volume of the gas means the space in which the gas occupied. So now, what is now gas, pressure, and volume? What's the relationship between them? So the volume of a phase mass of a gas depends on its pressure and on its temperature. Temperature is the degree of hotness and coldness of the body. So we take it back to the gas. Temperature is now the degree of the gas itself. Is it high temperature or low temperature, hot or cold? So a gas can be compressed or expand by pressure. What do you mean by compression and expansion? Expansion is to increase in length. Compression is to reduce in length. When gas is stored in a tube, now let's use this piston to give an example. Now this is piston here. So when we push this downward, that is when we apply pressure to it. Okay, and this is the volume there. So when we increase the pressure here, there will be a reduce in the volume. And when we increase the pressure, there will be a reduce in volume. But when we reduce the pressure, there will be increase in volume. This is the relationship between pressure and volume in a gas. So by compressing the gas slowly, then the gas loses energy by heating its surrounding at the same rate as energy is transferred into it. So now, what do we mean by the temperature or the energy? Now, gas loses its own energy due to its temperature. When we increase pressure, at least there is a friction do occur. When a friction occurs, there is change in temperature. Okay, but when we do this slowly, there will be change in temperature in the gas. So now we move to Boyle's law. What does Boyle's law state? Boyle's law states that the pressure exerted by a gas is inversely proportional to the volume occupied by it, inasmuch the temperature remains constant. What does that mean? So we can say that Boyle's law is the pressure exerted by a gas, that is P, is inversely proportional. What do you mean by inversely proportional? That is reciprocal. You reciprocate the volume inasmuch temperature remains constant. When the temperature remains constant, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So from there, we can have this to be P equals to, now this one here, we have inversely proportional is proportionality. Then we have constant C. Let's have constant C over V. We cross multiply. Then we have PV equals to constant. That is how we have what we call Boyle's law. PV equals to constant. So pressure multiplied by volume equals to the constant, inasmuch temperature remain constant. So let me explain this using this example here. Now this is the volume increase. You can see volume is the space itself. So the volume increase here. Okay, but when we push this down, that means we have increased the pressure. So if we increase the pressure, the volume will decrease. And if we reduce the pressure, the volume will increase. That is what Boyle's law states. So pressure is measured in Pascal, okay, while volume is measured in meter cube, which is length times breadth times height, meter cube. So let's solve this example here. In a chemistry experiment, 0.002 meter cube, that is, when we have meter cube, that is volume. Volume equals to 0.002 meter cube. Fine, that's one. Of gas was collected in a flask of pressure P equals to 125 kilopascal. 125 kilopascal. Calculate the volume. That means we have another volume, which is, let's name this volume to be V2, and let's name this to be V1. We need to calculate the volume. Oh, we have another pressure again, which is P2 equals to 100 kilopascal. Now, what do we do here? Now, we go back to Boyle's law. Boyle's law is pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. So let's resolve this parameter here. What do we mean by kilo? Kilo means 1,000. That's 125,000 Pascal. 125,000 Pascal. Why this is 100,000 Pascal. 100,000 Pascal. So that means we need to find the volume. What would be the volume? This one is constant. At V1, P1, we have this and this. So what do we have at V2? If P1 has changed to reduce to 100 kilopascal, P1 is 125, but now is now 100. So what will happen? This is what I want you to note. When there is increase in pressure, there will be decrease in volume. So here you can see from P1 to P2, there is decrease in pressure. So let's solve. Let's see if the volume will be increased. So we'll go with the formula PV equals to C. Okay, so from there we know inasmuch that temperature remains constant, you can see from it the question at the same temperature. So that means PV can also give as P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. In fact, that the temperature remains constant. So what is our P1? Our P1 is 125,000 multiplied by V1, which is 0.02, equals to P2 is 100,000 Pascal multiplied by V2, right? So we want to solve for V2. How do we solve for V2 here? We just need to divide both sides by 100,000 to get the value of V2. So from there, we can have V2 equals to 125,000 times 0.02 divided by 100,000, and that gives us 0.0025. And V, which is the volume, is measured in meter cube. Now let's check. Do we have increase in volume? Yes, we do. 0.02 and 0.025. That means there is increase in 0.0005 as increase in the volume 1 when we have it in volume 2. So that shows that as the pressure decrease, the volume increase. So Boyle's law is constant here. So I want you to note, what I need you to note is Boyle's law. Boyle's law states that the pressure in a gas is inversely proportional to the volume occupied by it, inasmuch as the temperature remains constant. So that will be the end of today's class. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Bye.